do just want to let you know we're going to record it today and know that this class will be accessible on our website and on our YouTube channel. And so also I like making a PDF of the class for participants. So if you're, want to just sit back and chill and not take notes or anything like that, that will be available. That will get emailed out by Desiree to everyone that signed up. And you can check back into all the things that were taught. So this class today, it goes from 10 a.m. till 11. And I just want to say thank you to Desiree, who's my co-captain on technology, all things technology. Thanks, Desiree.
You're welcome. Thanks, Jen.
Yay. Okay, well, let's get going. I'm going to share my screen and let's see, we get push this button and share sound. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so today's class is on happiness. And this is part of a positive psychology series created by the Montana Public Health Training Center under the Wellness Program. And I'm so grateful that they asked me to do this series. It's been super great to facilitate. And for many of you, I'm noticing I'm seeing your faces again. You've been coming to the courses and the classes and giving some great feedback and also sharing your wisdom. And so please keep that up. It's so lovely to notice the chat and hear how other people are taking in the information and also sharing your own insights and your own awareness because, all this information, it's specific to everyone in a different way and we all have a different perspective. And so I just want to honor everyone that's sharing everything that they know about all these things as well. So my name is Jen Roscoe, and I'm a counselor, and I work for the Montana Public Health Training Center, and I get to teach and facilitate classes. Under the wellness program, we travel around the state, and I have the honor of assisting with wellness for all of our Montana Public Health employees across the state. And we just got back from an amazing road show where we traveled to Eastern Montana and just hit a lot of those towns that don't get as much access to professional development and also on-site wellness. So we brought Himalayan singing bowls and taught lots of classes, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity for that. So let's get going. Let's get into some happiness. I just want to share that today I'm like, oh, what can I activate right away for myself that's just going to make me feel kind of, joyful inside. And I got out these earrings from my grandmother that they're massive. They're clip-ons, but they're so pretty and they just make me feel kind of adorned and make me happy. So I just wanted to share that and activate just the question within any of you. Is there anything in your wardrobe or anything that you have that when you put it on, it makes you feel awesome? These are just all these little tips and tricks and tools I'm going to be sharing throughout this class today to kind of activate that feeling. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so I have a lot of stuff to cover. The first thing I like to start with is mindfulness. We know from research that when we activate the feeling of any emotion under the norm of mindfulness or meditation, that activates our brain patterns to think differently. And so I'm going to start with that. And then I'm going to go into the benefits of happiness. I mean, why even do this? What are the benefits? And especially this is specific to the workplace. We're going to go into the health benefits. And then I love jumping into the science because our brains, they're finding out every day more and more different ways that we can just activate and feel better in our systems. And the brain is complex, but they're figuring out more and more ways that we can use our own psychology to tap into that. And then I'm going to go into mindset, what that looks like, a growth mindset versus a fixed, appreciation and how to savor, control versus no control. And then, of course, 10 different ways that you can cultivate that feeling of happiness. And I'm going to be sprinkling it throughout the whole class today as well. So It's not just at the end, so keep tuning in. And for those of you that are out at work or whatever, you can just put on your headphones and you can black out your screen and just enjoy. Some of you might be out on a walk. Some of you might be, doing whatever you're doing. So just know that you can just relax and listen. All right, well, let's get going. So this first tool that I'm going to tap into is mindfulness. And the cool thing about mindfulness is that whenever you take some time for yourself to get grounded, to just soften your thinking and activate a softer feeling within yourself, you're going to regulate your nervous system. And when our nervous systems are regulated, that's the best time to learn. That's the best time to problem solve. That's the best time to make a decision. And so notice how you feel after this short mindfulness and just see how you feel in your body. This is specifically designed for happiness. And you'll notice for you Montana kids out there that this was filmed at Flathead Lake. So I hope you enjoy. All right, go ahead and get yourself comfortable, however that may feel. You may close your eyes or hold a soft gaze. And just allow yourself to rest into the space that you are. Regulating your breathing. And just allowing your head to sink down into your shoulders. Allowing your shoulders to release and letting your arms hang heavy. Allowing your chest area to just rest. Allowing your belly to just let go. Letting go of any little muscles you may be holding. And allowing your sit bones to just root into the chair. Or if you're laying down, allowing your back and your legs to root into the place that you are. Feeling grounded, feeling secure, feeling relaxed. And as you rest into yourself, feeling more relaxed, feeling calm, feeling content, I want you to focus inward on your heart area and allow a little light to be activated within yourself. And as you activate your imagination now to focus inward, notice where this light is in your chest. And just allow it to grow and fill up your chest. Allowing this feeling of positivity and love and gentleness. All that you imagine that is goodness. Allow it to move up into your head. Allow it to move down into your toes. Allow it to move down into your fingers. Becoming aware of any feelings that kind of tingle within you. And just continue to confirm and affirm that you deserve to feel good. And repeating to yourself, yes, I believe I deserve to feel good in my life. Yes, I trust that life is good. And yes, I am willing to open up to all the doors of goodness, including joy and love. Yes, I welcome the possibilities for happiness. Yes, I tune my heart inwards and imagine that there are two giant doors that are opening for me now. Feeling yourself open and ready to receive the positivity and the happiness that you deserve. Notice that one of these doors is for love and happiness to enter in. Only love and possibility extend from within. Allow yourself to just bathe in this feeling of tuning into this delightful energy, this softness, this rest, this peace. And know that you are worthy of it. You deserve it. And this bright light is really a million suns all together within your heart right now. And it is blowing past every door in your heart and allowing you to be ushered in to feeling happiness and love and that energy that's growing within you and extending from this space to all around you. It's filling you up and your heart is feeling full. The light is brighter, brighter than it's ever been seen. And you hold this light within you. Allow yourself to feel this energy entering into every cell of your being. Feeling yourself receive this refreshing, rejuvenating love of possibility and happiness and joy. Feeling your ability to believe in many creative possibilities. Everything is working out for you and becoming enhanced and stronger, more natural. And it's as if you are feeling so much positivity and happiness that you carry this connection with you, with this feeling with you as you move into every situation this week. It's within your fingers and your toes. It's within your eyes and your smile. It's within every part of your being. Allow this to move with you through your day, moving into all your relationships and through all your situations. And just relaxing in the knowledge that you always have access to this part of yourself, this part of you that is connected with love, gentleness, positive feelings, and happiness. And so slowly we're going to move back into the here and now and just allow maybe your toes to wiggle, maybe your fingers. Maybe allow your head to drop and roll. And we're going to move back slowly in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, welcome back. Thank you for doing this happiness mindfulness with me today. I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy all good things. Okay, welcome back. I hope for those that participated in that are feeling a little lighter in their system. And since this was activated, this feeling of happiness within yourself, I just want to invite you to just notice where is this feeling in your body? We often can find the feeling of anger or anxiety or fear pretty easily within our body. You know, some people hold it in their hands and they clench their fists or their toes or within their face when they're having a dysregulating feeling. But we don't often think about, well, gosh, where is the feeling of happiness? Where is the feeling of joy? And so just take a moment now to just notice, like in your body, like just close your eyes and find out where was that feeling that I just activated within myself. And so, yeah, just for me, I'm noticing it's like in my cheeks and my eyes and kind of like in my heart area. And so when we start acknowledging and noticing where the feelings are that we want to feel, where we hold them in our system, then it's a little bit easier for us to activate them within our body. And just note that if it was kind of hard to find and you're like, you're not really sure, that's totally normal. This is a new skill in finding and locating emotions in the body. And so once you start tuning into yourself more every day, especially in the morning before you wake up, you're going to be able to activate this to move into your day. Okay, so let's just tune into like what are the benefits of this anyway? Why even focus in on happiness? We know that happiness in the workplace is so beneficial, and there's a lot of data on this now, and so I just have a few things up here about this, but it really benefits our brains to work better, and we think better, and we problem solve better, and when we're happier, we tend to not really focus on what's negative. Stressors that are around us, we tend to just, they kind of blow past, or they move past and we don't attach to them quite as much. It also just allows you more room to think, and just be able to how to react and move through something with a more positive tone. Especially there's going to be a challenge every day in work. And so when you activate that feeling within yourself, it helps for creative problem solving. It also, there's these studies that are showing that it really helps employees be more productive. And that, when we're more happy, we're able to just, and let's just face it, it's so nice to be around someone that's positive, that's finding solutions, that feels good to be around. And so this really does improve teams, and it improves that people want to work with you, and there's appreciation grows within a workplace. Also, better customer service. Have you ever noticed if you've gone into a business and people are grumpy, versus a place where people, just the vibe feels better. And, they've really shown, through research that this increases like 20% within sales of just the place feeling good, that people are happier there. And you'll probably earn more money. We all like that, right? And so there's research also finding that higher salaries are linked to this. Although this isn't consistent, there, like across the board with everything, this does tend to show more money for people that are feeling better in their systems. All right. So what are the benefits for health? Oh my goodness. We know now that through all the research that we hold stress in our body. And so, there's been all this research driven by companies who want to find ways to improve productivity. And they found that huh, when people are feeling better in their systems, their heart health is better. People, they're less likely to leave their jobs and be absent and be sick. And people that are happier, they combat stress a little bit more easily. And this is helpful in the workplace because it creates stronger immune systems. There's that upper level of team happiness. And I love all this cool research about that basically when you increase your happiness, this helps you with an overall healthier lifestyle, and this improves our immune systems. There's all this research coming out about cancer patients, that they can actually decrease their pain threshold by activating these other emotions with happiness and just feeling better. And of course, we love the one about longer longevity. People live longer. So yeah, let's just get some more doses of happiness. Um, let's see. All right, let's move on to some more brain research. The research within Activating Happiness is really cool. And I'm so lucky that when I was doing my master's at U of M, I got to do a research project on happiness under Professor John Summers Flanagan. And so we did all this research on happiness and how it affects others. And he teaches a great class. If you're ever interested, I think it's open to the public on happiness. It's an undergraduate class, and I'm pretty sure anyone can take it. But anyway, the research is just showing that it's really a brain hack that when you activate happiness, you're activating these mood boosting neurotransmitters, and those are going to tap into serotonin and dopamine that strengthen these neural pathways. And so when you think a thought for more than 30 seconds, when you think one thought, a like-minded thought is going to attach to it. And that creates a pathway within the brain. And so think about it. What are the thoughts that you're thinking on a regular basis? If you wake up and end up tuning into the news or tuning into whatever that is negative, then if you're thinking of those thoughts over and over and over again, that like-minded thoughts are going to attach to that. And so just notice, how are you starting your day, and what are the thoughts that you're activating, and just notice like how they correspond to how you feel within your system. We all have this kind of hardwired negative bias, unfortunately. Um, and just think about it. Like if a friend says to you, "Oh my gosh, you are the best. I just love you so much. Everything about you is so fun, and I just delight in you. But, you know, you're kind of blah, blah, blah," whatever it is. We will tune into what the but was, even though someone said to you all these lovely things. We tend to think about what is after the but and hold on to that. Even if someone in your workplace, if you've just had this great work environment and connections and getting jobs done and productivity, and then if something negative happens, we tend to tune into that negativity over and over and over and over. And so by practicing ways of thinking positive thoughts, we can activate these other feelings. And so the science is that when you think a thought, it activates an emotion within you. Any thought you think, there's like an invisible thread that leads to an emotion or a feeling. And we actually hold feelings in our body. And as I demonstrated earlier, when I asked you to activate a feeling of happiness, where is that in your system? All of our emotions live in our body, and our bodies are holding these emotions, and this dictates our behavior. And so just notice that this is just happening all day long, and it's not something that we tend to like really tune into and be really mindful about. But if you take the moment to really actively be mindful about how you're feeling, how you're thinking, noticing what your cognitions are, then you can really get out ahead of your day and be able to take on challenges with a lot more ease, a lot more softness. And we have these patterns that live within us, and they're in our body. And so just noticing, what are the patterns that you're activating? What do you notice that you think about a lot? And if you're thinking about thoughts that are like, or memories that are in the past that are negative, and they keep kind of showing up, that's basically you living in the past to some degree. But you're in the present moment, unfortunately. And so when you can tune back in and pivot yourself into the present moment, then you can kind of soften those feelings in the past. And when we're in the past, we're not in the present moment. And so I'm going to keep tuning back into this concept of tuning into the present moment, because there's a lot of different ways we can do it. So noticing that your emotions are dictated by how you feel. Happiness is like, this is something that we have to work at. This is something that we need to take time and cultivate and figure out what are the little ways that you can create happiness for yourself throughout the day. When you activate that just through little things throughout the day, then when the brunt of the day hits you, something goes wrong or whatever happens, you're able to take that hit with a lot more ease because you've already activated happiness, or some sort of gratitude or some other feeling that feels good prior to that thing hitting you. If you start the day not feeling so good, then when something happens that's challenging, we get knocked over a lot easier. So um, this kind of leads me into this next teaching video, and just know that all these videos are on our website that I've created. So here we go. Hello and welcome. My name is Jen Roscoe. I'm a counselor with the Montana Public Health Training Center under the Wellness Program. And today's tool and tip is focused on how you start your day. All right, so let's just take a second. Think about what's your usual morning routine. And so this is a real conscious effort in shifting your own self-perception of the world, or maybe yourself, into feeling a little better. For some people, it's cutting out some things. That might be negative information that you may receive over and over and over again through the news. So maybe checking in on the news a little bit later in the day to see what's going on. For other people, they focus in on gratitude. Some people have a gratitude journal, or some people just lay in bed and notice what they appreciate that's in their life. Other people journal, and some people just literally do a little mindfulness where they focus in on inner peace or feeling positive. So the cool thing we know about this research is that whatever sinks in the brain links in the brain. And so if you're noticing that your thoughts are moving more into a negative pattern throughout the day, think about how you can adjust that first in the morning. How do you want to feel today? How do you want to be in your meeting? How do you want to be as you move through the day, through traffic, when you're dealing with your coworkers? And just take a moment to kind of visualize it and feel into the feelings of how you want to feel. We know that when we do this practice of precognition, pre-feeling the feelings, that we tend to move into those feelings a little bit easier because we've already practiced. All right, so just decide, how do you want to feel today, and how can you practice that in the morning? All right, thanks for tuning in. There's more tips and tools on our website, on the Montana Public Health Training Center website under the Wellness Program. Have a great day. All right. Yeah, so just noticing how you want to feel in the morning and activating that before you get out of bed, just taking a minute and just seeing, gosh, what do I have coming up today? And how do I want to be in those situations? If you know you have a big presentation and you want to activate the feeling of calm and confidence, find that in your body. Where is confidence? Where do you hold that in your system? And think about ways that you've already been confident and shown up in a big way and really crushed some big thing that you've already done, and activate that feeling within your system. You can activate more than one feeling in the morning before you walk out the door. And then it's so much, that means you've activated this part of your brain that it's easier for you to just pivot right into that brain pattern and move forward in it. And so I highly recommend this practice. It's proven through research, and it's a great little hack in moving through your day and getting out ahead of your day really in the morning. All right, so let's move on and move into mindsets. We know now that through research, and this is so cool that this is now in the schools, kids are learning this. They're learning what a growth mindset is versus a fixed mindset. And you can see that a growth mindset, it really taps into being able to take on things and challenges with a different vibe, with a different feeling, with a more positive tone. And you can see that it really moves us into a different way of being versus a fixed mindset. I like giving the analogy of a tree, and how cool, like nature is always reflecting back to us ways of being. And trees, they're able with their deep roots that when big wind comes or storm or whatever it is, they're able to flex and move, and they can allow that wind, they can allow the stress, they can allow the storm to just blow past them because they're flexible, and they're not staying like fixed in a certain way. When we remain fixed, it's really hard for us to bend and flex and move forward. And so I highly recommend practicing a growth mindset. And you know what? We all fall into the trap of not in a growth mindset. The cool thing is about more awareness about yourself is that you can recognize when you're in that state and then pivot. And so, oops, just ask yourself right now, like, when have I ever faced a really difficult task? And what did I do? Notice about how you felt, and notice about, your self-talk. How do you talk to yourself? Do you talk to yourself in a way that is helpful for growth and with I statements? Like, I can learn how to do this. Versus, oh, I'll never be able to do math. When we say these statements, everything you say is true for you. And so when you say these statements that are on the negative end of the stick, then we tend to self-prophesize and move right into that thing. And so if you can practice positive mindset and also positive self-talk, it's going to help you move through challenges so much easier. And we tend to like not talk to ourselves very nice, actually. And we tend to be kind of hard on ourselves. And so this is a new skill for a lot of people, and it kind of feels awkward at first. Just, telling yourself, well, that just sounds weird. Like, I'm not going to talk to myself and feeling better. But the research shows that when you practice these I statements, you can move through adversity a lot more easily. Okay, so I'm going to stay on mindset a little bit longer, and move into appreciation. We know that through research that gratitude and appreciation is like one of the best ways to activate happiness. And so savoring is this concept that I learned from John Summers Flanagan. He's done all this research on how when you savor things that activates the feeling of happiness and just feeling good. And so there's a lot of things you can savor. Some people have this practice of finding something to savor, and they'll think about it at their meal. Like when they sit down, they'll talk about something that was good in their day. Some of us use our phones, and you can create a photo reel where you can just watch something that was really lovely and fun and wonderful, and relive that feeling. What do you notice about achievements? Like, what have you done that's awesome? And, how can you feel back into that feeling and savor what it was like to make that achievement? And just the little moments, like the daily things that you tune into with a little more intention. Kids are so good at this. They're like noticing ants, and they're noticing things that are on the ground or whatever. And we tend to get so busy and run around that we tend to not tune in to what is around us that's really good, but really being mindful about all the senses, including like food, eating mindfully, like really savoring that piece of chocolate that you have in your desk. Sound, like what is something that you can savor that you like to listen to, music or whatever it is. And people can just like pop stuff in the chat right now about things that they savor, that are within the senses. Also smells. How can you activate like your favorite smells, like aromatherapy or even food that you love that may be even nostalgic, that just reminds you of being at grandma's or whatever it is. And also, like, what do you surround yourself with? What are you looking at within your office and during your day? Do you have something that you can read or revisit or feel into photographs, vacations you've been on, or even some people like to put up post-it notes on their screen just to remind them about certain things that make them feel good. So there's a lot of different ways that you can savor. And I love this one. This is the research that they've been doing on the different forms of past, present, and future savoring. So reminiscent savoring is just what you think. It's remembering and refeeling and reliving that, that vacation or whatever that thing was that you did, and feeling the feelings of the past in the present moment. And so we know that when we do this, that this is a brain hack. Our brain is so practical that when we think of things that are in the past, our brain thinks it's like happening right now. And so that's why when you relive the past, and if it's something dysregulating, or anything that's hard or something that doesn't make you feel so great inside, you're feeling it in the present moment. And that will activate the exact same feelings in your system that happened back then. And so it's really powerful. So if you're gonna do it, might as well do it about something that feels good. Do it about something that was wonderful and lovely and feels good in your system. So the other one is experiential savoring. And so yeah, just noticing too, enjoying what's happening in the very moment that it's happening. Um, Noticing like what do you have today that you can move into and savor that's even happening within your day? Do you have a task within your workplace that you're doing that feels really good? Like you're marking that list off, you're checking it off. Just notice, what is something that is in my day today that I can tap into and feel the feelings of savoring it right now? Because when you feel it in the present moment, right now, that's where all your power is. So I highly recommend that. And then the third one with savoring is this anticipatory savoring. So it's just what it sounds like. You're anticipating what's coming up. What's coming up that you're excited about? What can you feel into? And you can even tap into like all the senses within that. Like, what are you anticipating that king size bed on that vacation wherever is going to be like, or how the sand is going to feel on your toes once you get on the beach. It's all of those feelings of the five senses that if you tap into them in the present moment, then you're going to feel them. And then when you're in that moment again, it's just like extra. It's just like bonus. All right. So I'm going to just check the chat and see if people are putting in some things. Oh, the cup of tea. Oh, I love that one. Yeah. Like you can do that in your day, right? You can practice, make that a practice within your day of finding, okay, I'm going to bracket in at 10 o'clock to have that cup of tea that I love, and just like maybe it's lavender tea or licorice or whatever it is, and just tap into that. I see that Marriott Olson says the smell of rain, the taste of marmalade. Oh, yeah. Reminds you of grandma, and taking photos of flowers and landscapes. Absolutely. And that's really tuning into the present moment. Let's see. Karen Graff says, listening to birds outside my window. Oh, great, Karen. I mean, really taking the time to listen to something that's outside of ourselves is another level of really like tuning in to the present moment. Holly says, tonight I'm looking forward to a mental health awareness walk and rock painting afterwards. Oh, cool. Like, where do you live? That sounds awesome. Who's doing these things? Oh, that's great. Thanks for sharing, you guys. If anyone else wants to keep popping in things in the chat that feels good, sometimes it reminds us of things that we're already doing, that we can do more of, or even just gives us inspiration for other things we can maybe try. Okay, let's move on. So now I want to move into this other part of mindset, and that's about control versus not control. So let's tune into this. Hello and welcome. My name is Jen Roscoe. I'm a counselor with the Montana Public Health Training Center under the Wellness Program. And today's tip and tool focuses on what you can control and what's out of your control. And so noticing what you can control versus what you can't control. This is just a tool that counselors, we use this with our clients all the time to help them move into acceptance, to help just release more anxiety and fear. And so you can take this moment to maybe get out a sheet of paper and draw a circle. In the inside of the circle, you can write down all the things that you can control. What do you notice? On the outside of the circle, you can write down the things that are outside of your control. So typically, things that are outside of your control are the weather, politics, traffic, your kid, your partner. I mean, really, it's just about everything externally is outside of your control. And so what we can control is actually our own responses. What our boundaries are, our thoughts and our actions, goals that you can set, and what you give your energy to. And this is so helpful to understand because when we move into understanding that the way we treat ourselves, the way we speak to ourselves, and how we handle challenges, this will help us move into feeling more peace and relaxation, calmness. You're going to focus inward on what you can control, and this moves us into self-responsibility. This is where all your power lies, is how you feel, and you have the choice. Every day before you wake up in the morning, you can lay in bed and decide, how do I want to move through this day? What are the thoughts I want to feel? And just take a moment to find those feelings, feeling into how you'd like to be in that moment. Let's say it's calm and confidence. So take a moment to just close your eyes and notice where calm is in your system. And notice where confidence is in your system. And we're all different. So notice where you hold emotions and how you can thread them to your own behavior. And if you practice this in the morning, noticing what you can control, which is yourself, you can activate how you want to feel and how you want to move through your day and take control over how you are. And this moves us out of default behavior. This moves us into responsibility. If you can figure out ways to move through the world and not get knocked over by everything external that's outside of yourself, then you're going to feel a lot better. Okay, thanks for tuning in today. There's more tools and tips on our website, on the Montana Public Health Training Center website under the Wellness Program. All right. So yeah, just noticing about control versus not control. This is another great tool of tuning in to how you want to feel, because that's really all we have control over is how we feel, what our goals are, how we react to situations. And we spend a lot of time worrying and wondering and about others and other things that we really don't have any control over. And it takes up a lot of space within our psyche. So any way you can just tune into yourself, you're going to free up so much energy within yourself and thoughts and feelings and thinking that where you can just focus in on yourself and help yourself feel better. All right. So this last one, whoops, I started it too soon, is these tips on how to cultivate happiness. And this was a really fun teaching video to make, but just, yeah, notice and please add to the chat the ways that you cultivate happiness within yourself so we can all learn from each other. 1, 2, 3. Hello and welcome. My name is Jen Roscoe. I'm a counselor with the Montana Public Health Training Center under the Wellness Program. And today's tip and tool is focused on happiness. Okay, so happiness. We all know what it feels like. Feeling content, feeling soft, feeling delighted, feeling love, feeling understanding, even joy. what are some ways that we can cultivate that feeling of happiness? Well, here are 10 tips that you can start today in moving towards feeling better in your system. Number 1, gratitude. All right, by thinking about the good aspects within your life, we actually release good hormones such as dopamine. So for instance, if you can be grateful for what makes sense within your life, that you have access to food and shelter, or that you can interact with people that you care about, by being grateful, we can shift our thoughts away from negative rumination. Number 2, do something you love. Focusing in on your efforts in a healthy activity that gives you pleasure pretty much helps keep your mind away from thoughts that might bring you down. So if you're fortunate enough to have an activity in which you love that you can devote many hours a day, you can actually create lifelong going happiness. Such activities may include creative arts, getting outside in nature, or maybe even your job. So just notice, what is something that you love to do? Number 3, sleep, exercise, and eating well. Eating healthy and drinking water. Taking the time to eat well, gather foods that are good for your body, and eating mindfully with each bite. Exercise. We all know that exercise is good for our bodies, and it's helpful to get outside and enjoy a change of scenery. Studies also show that if you practice an activity, this gains more resilience and leads to more happiness. Sleep. No matter where you lay your head down, sleep is so important. So make it a sanctuary for yourself. A good night's sleep can create more happiness. Number 4, make a friend. Again, because we are social creatures, we benefit so much from interacting with others. And that being said, our friends also help us create positive experiences. These help our lives and supporting us, and also help us improving ourselves. So go make a friend. Number 5, limiting your impact to media. So in this day and age, we are bombarded with information from news media and also social media, and it really can impact us adversely. So to mitigate this, one option is either to reduce the stress that arises from hearing about bad news and world events by changing the source of information from the web and letting go of 24/7 news. Okay, number 6, embracing your challenges. So rather than thinking of a challenge as an insurmountable or even unfair disadvantage, think of it as an opportunity, either to learn how to grow when you can cope with it constructively. Number 7, help someone else. As we are social creatures, helping other people feel better brings us happiness. It's our ability to be empathetic that allows us to feel the improvement of feelings with others. And this usually leads to a release of oxytocin, which is sometimes thought to be the love hormone. When you help someone else, that helps someone else feel good, and then the cycle just ripples out into the world. So who can you give a hand to this week? Okay, number 8, be kind to yourself. So just notice, how do you treat yourself, and how can you be kinder to yourself? This is helpful because when we're kinder to ourselves, we actually tend to be kinder to other people as well. And so cultivating that self-talk about love for yourself, noticing things that you do well, and just being soft. This will help you move into more happiness and softness within your whole system. Number 9, positive self-talk. So when we find ways of talking to ourselves with a more positive tone, especially using I statements like, I want to overcome this. By doing that, it encourages your brain to think about how the obstacle might be overcome. And this often leads to a solution. So in turn, by overcoming an obstacle, that often leads to an increased confidence, and then this leads to a sense of achievement. This can also lead to an increased sense of happiness. Number 10, create good feeling thoughts. Okay, so the science is really pretty cool. When you hold a thought for more than 60 seconds, it creates a synapsis. And if you create that, then a like-minded thought will attach to that thought and it creates a new pathway system within your brain. How cool is that? So it's a little bit like exercise. If you shift a little bit with your expectations, a little shift in making a mindful choice will help you feel so much better within these patterns of thinking. So the neat thing about our brain is that it's so practical that if you are having a thought that's about an old situation that feels tough or negative or even sharp, then your brain will just think that moment's happening in the now. It literally is that practical. So when you activate an idea or a thought or a memory about something in the past, your brain usually reacts and thinks it's happening right now, and the rest of your system will move into that reaction, which is feeling stressed or feeling sad or whatever the emotion is tied to that memory. So when you have thoughts on the opposite end of that stick, your brain thinks that it's happening right now too. Even if it's a memory or an appreciation of something anticipated in the future, your brain is so practical that it literally moves you into feeling that feeling in the now, even though it's in the future or if it's in the past. So it's pretty mind-blowing. Knowing that you can create your reality in the present moment and finding thoughts that feel good, you can build more good-feeling emotions that can really change how you feel. And this affects your health. It affects your relationships, and this echoes beyond yourself because usually when you feel happiness, then you're feeling light, you're feeling a little bit more peace, and you're feeling just better internally. And this usually ripples out to the other people around you. Okay, so thanks for tuning in today and a deep dive into how to cultivate happiness within your life. We have more tips and tools on the website on the Montana Public Health Training Center under the Wellness Program. Have a great day. All right. Okay, yeah. So all these videos that I've created are on our website, so you can tune back into them. But yeah, I'm just curious about what do people notice about those tips and tools that they already do? Are there any that really stand out to you? Are there things that you already do? And I want to throw out this resource as well. This is so cool, the Montana Happiness Project is happening here. And this is like speakers and workshops and happiness on demand. And there's a happiness challenge and there's all these cool things you can tune into. And just know that if you're just tuning in now that I'm going to send out a PDF with all this information on it with links. So don't worry about it needing to be in the chat. It's going to be emailed to you. So this is another thing you can tune into if you're curious about how to create more happiness within yourself. Okay, so yeah, today we went over a lot of stuff. We started with activating happiness with some mindfulness. Went into all the science of emotions and how powerful it is that if you're intentional with how you want to feel, that's going to activate within your body and it's going to dictate your own behavior as well. Went into a little bit about mindset, a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset, and how if you can tune back into a growth mindset, and also that's that positive self-talk I've been kind of saying over and over again, you're going to be able to move through challenges with a lot more ease. I went big today into gratitude, appreciation, and specifically with this tool of savoring. When we move into savoring, either in the past or in the future, it activates that feeling in the now. So all our power is in the now. And this also kind of rolls right into control versus not control. When you notice what you can control, which is yourself, then you're going to free up a lot of energy within yourself to be able to move through other things instead of being concerned and worried about everything else around you. And so, yeah, at the beginning, I went into some benefits within happiness in the workplace and also, yeah, just our health benefits from feeling better. So, and I just finally finished here with fostering happiness, 10 tips for that. And so, yeah, what do you notice? What's a takeaway for you? What's a reflection? What's something that you can put in your back pocket and use for your day? And so I'm going to stop sharing and just kind of open it up to the room and check in and see if there's anything people want to share about ways that they've cultivated happiness for themselves and yeah, just any tips or tools that you have, because I know there's a lot of good like wisdom within this weird Zoom room. So yeah, what do people want to share? How do you create happiness for yourself? And you can also throw it in the chat as well. Okay. All right. I see. I'm not sure how to say your name. I say A Aleket. I'm sure it's like A and then that's your last name. But yeah, I'm noticing that you're saying massages. Oh my gosh, self-care massage. Totally. That's such a nice thing. And when we do that self-care, oh, Annette, thank you. Whatever we feel good that feels good for us is the way to go. Like if you're a girl that just like loves to get your nails done, and you know, maybe there's a feeling of like I shouldn't do that, that feels really selfish, la la la. Yeah, do it. If you like that and that gives you like a sense of happiness, any sort of self-care. Holly says driving my old Chevy down the country road listening to tapes. Oh my gosh, tapes. Remember tapes, everyone? That's awesome. Thanks, Holly. Teresa says being out in my garden. Yeah, and gardening is that cool thing where it really brings us into the present moment. We're moving into feeling and using all our senses nearly with gardening. You're smelling your dirt, you're out in the sunshine, you're smelling the things that you're planting. Marriott says, I have a friend that suggested sending a love note to someone you care about when you're feeling down. Oh, it's doing something nice for another person that builds connection, and people often sending something sweet back. Yeah, who sends notes anymore? That's so lovely. When's the last time you got some mail? Um, Annette says, I thought you were talking to me, two Annettes in one class. Oh, funny. What? There's usually like 10 Jennifers, so that's impressive. We got two Annettes. Love that. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. Okay. Well, I'm hoping that people felt a feeling of activation, of happiness within themselves, and also just learn different ways and tools that they can activate that feeling within them. Okay, this might be the other Annette. Annette, for me, she says it's taking deep breaths and tightening every muscle and then relaxing them. Oh, yes, that's progressive muscle relaxation. That really works. I see that it says it releases tension and it makes you feel better when you're stressed. Yeah, you can do this from head to toe. So you can do it with your hands. You can go all the way up your body. And when you finally release, it feels so good. Another one I love doing with clients is the noodle. So you pretend like you're a noodle and you're really, really tight and you hold your body really, really tight. And then you gradually like pretend like you're putting yourself in boiling water and you just allow yourself to just feel loose and soft. Um, Kimmy says that she's currently doing ooh, Qigong. I know I'm saying that wrong. Qigong. There we go. Weekly class, and I find it both relaxing and energizing at the same time. Yeah, there's classes out there. So if there's something you're like curious about and you've always wanted to try, check it out. Okay, well, I'm seeing we're just about out of time. There's so many friendly faces that I've seen in all our classes. I just want to thank you for coming today, for sharing. This is our last positive psychology class. Hopefully, we'll get them going again in the fall. And Desiree, I'm guessing you put in the chat a feedback form.
I sure did.
You sure did. Well, we appreciate the feedback on all the classes we've been giving. So just thank you again for coming. I hope everyone has the best day. Lots of happiness. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Have a great day.